It's been 6 months. East Tennesseans impacted by Helene continue to recover. We have heard so many stories of loss, but so many stories of perseverance. Our Casey Wheelis and Ted Holler live in Newport this afternoon. Guys, you have been there several times in the last 6 months. I know it looks a lot different, and now Mayor Rob Mathis is with you.
Absolutely. And, you know, some of the people who probably still haven't gotten a full night's rest since the beginning, from the started, some of our county officials, including County Mayor Rob Mathis. Thank you for being here as we are hoping to keep this in the spotlight, because you have multiple years until you guys are back to some sense of normalcy.
We sure do. We anticipate it's probably going to be a 4 to 5 year total rebuild process. So we're 6 months into that, and I see it as we're climbing a mountain, and we're in the foothills in that mountain right now.
What kind of progress are you most proud of that the county has been able to get done to this point?
I think the progress we're most proud of probably is going to be the debris cleanup has been a huge deal, but also I think the way that the county has pulled together to help our friends and neighbors and our businesses. We've continued to stay unified in that. Again, we've said over and over again, this kind of experience will either take a community and it will either pull together or it'll tear itself apart. And that's a choice that we make. We have made, and our people have made, the choice to pull together, and they're continuing to make that choice. And that's making all the difference for our homeowners, for our businesses, for our farmers, all those folks. Again, we've got a lot of folks who have started the rebuild. Some have already finished the rebuild. So many businesses are still open. We've got another one that's one of our major employers, Keurig Dr. Pepper, is going to be having a grand opening on April 10th. So we're coming back to life. We're rebounding. But that said, we realize that we still have a long way to go. There are still a lot of folks who need help, and we're going to make sure they get that help.
And talk about the infrastructure a little bit. You all suffered a great loss when it came to the railroad, to the roads. How is the recovery there for the county?
Well, the railroad, my understanding is the railroad, the trestle here should be complete, and hopefully they'll be running sometime next month. Interstate 40, as we all know, opened back up, and that's gone extremely well. We were worried that because it's slower going through the one lane that it would get really backed up, but that hasn't been the case. So that's gone extremely well. From our local perspective, you know, kind of going there and going down into the county situation, a lot of the county roads, most of those have been repaired. The ones who were damaged, many of those have been repaired. We still have some that were not just damaged but kind of destroyed, that are having to be rebuilt rather than repaired. And that's just that is a longer process. It doesn't go fast enough for any of our liking, but we're well underway of getting that done.
Red tape is probably a perfect example of what that phrase means. People want to get something done. Others want to help them get it done, but there are certain things that have to be approved by the government or what have you for it to get done. Are you surprised at the level of hoops that need to be jumped through just to fix things?
Sometimes more than others. Yeah, like you said, a certain amount of that is to be expected, but then when you encounter an unexpected obstacle, especially one that may not seem to make sense, then that can be frustrating. But what we have, in our team, we just say, well, okay, that's just something we can't do anything about. We just have to deal with it, and maybe we seek help from other areas to maybe try to help streamline that process and call the federal side or the state side and say, hey, this doesn't make sense to us. Either explain to us why it makes sense or help us to streamline this so that we can get this done faster. And so far, just about everybody's been willing to work with us and get that done. So that's been a real blessing. And, we're talking about the unity piece. I also want to thank the state and federal folks for working with us. Everybody has been, and you all too, you're a huge part of this recovery. You are what's keeping our situation and the fact that we do have a long mountain to climb yet ahead of us in the public awareness. And that is what's helping us to continue to get those resources from outside the county and those partners to know that we still do need the help. We're bootstrapping ourselves. We're coming together and pulling up, by our own bootstraps. But we do still need that help from the outside partners, and those people are still there. When we reach out, there's still a hand to hold.
What's next? What's the next 6 months look like for Cocke County?
The next 6 months, we're continuing to make strides in helping people get back into their homes. It's homes, businesses, farms, first and foremost, because that's who our county is. And then the other thing is continuing with the rebuild on the infrastructure side. We need to get answers for our jail, a lot of our public infrastructure pieces. We're really close to getting answers on those, and then we're going to pursue the next piece is how you pay for it. Okay. So from the state and federal side, we're going to be asking for help on the public infrastructure side. And the other piece too is it's not just about recovery, it's also continuing our growth and development. We can't take our eyes off of that. We just got great news today. There's a press release. It's the There's the industrial property evaluation program from the state. They picked 3 counties across the state to come in and really enhance those industrial sites so that they would be prime locations for new employers to move into. We were chosen as one of those 3 counties. So we're looking forward to that. And, we're moving on 3 separate tracks if you think about it. One is recovery. One is continuing our economic development to better the lives of our citizens, and third is how we pay for it. So those are 3 steep hills, but we're climbing them all at once.
Mayor Mathis, thank you very much. Cocke County Mayor, we really appreciate your time and your help today. I'm glad you're doing well.
Well, we appreciate you so much. You're helping more than you can imagine. Thank you.
Thank you. And one of the things the county has actually had in place for several years now is a county alert system. That is something the EMA director has asked people to sign up for. It will send you alerts straight to your phone when there's weather alerts or other things happening in the county. And we've got a link to that in our WVLT News app.
We are impressed with the progress that's being made over 6 months, and we still see the things that need to be done. So don't forget about the people in Cocke County. And there are other areas of East Tennessee that we aren't going to forget about either. That flood was powerful. That flood did a lot of damage. There are people working 24 hours a day, it seems, to rebuild what they had. And there are some who are going to just let it go and, for whatever financial reason, take a tax break off of it. That's why I think this whole thing's going to take years until everything feels back to normal. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, we'll send it back to you, Brittany, in the studio.
All right, guys, thank you. We'll be back out with you soon.
Your first